friend, and it seemed as though he felt somewhat similar. So like he's made references to like, oh, I hope I can make you happy when we meet. Melina confided in Bob 7 regarding all sorts of matters in her life, whether it was the consensual sharing of nudes. Their communication over the next several months, from April to November, would continue without incident.
And then you're always flying out to meet these people. You have like this giant web of connections, and then once in a while, behind the scenes, somebody like Melina will go and shit talk you to 10 different people and ruin your relationships. Do you think this is like conducive to your success? Is this just like a byproduct of the lifestyle you want to live?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what I would trade any of it for. Like, I've had a lot of fun the past 15 years of streaming. I've had a lot of fun the past 5 years. I would say even like the totality of my relationship with Melina, I would think it was a lot of fun. A lot of it was, but I also learned a lot. Yeah, I don't know. I think for me, what like things that are too much is if it's getting to the point where I'm having to take like a lot of days off streaming because I'm having to like emotionally process stuff in order to move forward, then I would have to be like, okay, well, this is not good. But generally, like if shit gets and I can stream it, and we can chat about it, and I just like keep working. It's like, you know, it is what it is.
One of the things people bring up against you, we're going deeper now.
Oh, shit.
One of the things a lot of people bring up against you is they say you're a bad father.
Sure, damn.
Why'd you move so far away from your son?
For work-related reasons. Do you think I should have uprooted his life and brought him with me to California?
When's the last time you saw your kid?
I don't know. Do you want like the age he was when I saw him last? Do you want me to tell you what he was wearing? You foul fuck, or?
Stop talking about people's sons. Kim, he had a child, and he's just paying for the child's existence. Abortion was the correct action here.
Custody. You abandoned your child to go play StarCraft in Miami.
You talked about how missing Nebraska a little bit and thinking about how maybe things could have been different if you had stuck around to be with your kid. Do you regret how things went there? Do you wish you were...
Regret which part?
I guess just not being there all the time.
I mean, like, yeah, to some extent, of course. When I originally was there in Nebraska, I felt like being there was like super inhibiting to my career. So I had a little bit of a conversation with his mom about like, could all of us maybe move to California or Florida? But that was like completely off the table.
Is this when you were together?
No, but we were like still co-parenting. Obviously, because she had her whole family there and his mom had her job and everything there, like she doesn't want to just pack up and move states. He's kind of locked down there for as long as he wants to be with his mom and his family and his friends there. And then I felt like if I lived in different areas, there'd probably be a lot more career opportunities available to me. Some people said I just moved to places to fuck people, but I mean, I was just fly out to fuck people. So I waited until he turned 8 because I was trying to think like, well, do I want to leave when he's like 2? That feels kind of weird because he doesn't even know who I am. So I waited a little bit, like, well, he's 8, we can have a conversation, he can kind of understand it. When he was, I think, either 8 or 9, I moved to California initially, so that him and his mom, because they were living like in a kind of a shitty apartment at the time, and then she moved into my house with him. And so he lives there now, so we can go to the same school and hang out with his family and everything.
Then you wish you were like, I don't know. I'm not trying to do a gotcha moment here, I'm just genuinely curious, so I hope you don't feel like
Yeah, I mean like more present or more, yeah, for sure. Like to some extent, like I prioritize probably my career a little bit over like my relationship with him.
Yeah.
I mean, God will judge us.
God will.
Yeah, and I remember that like I had like there was a period where I look back at these texts sometimes, it was so unbelievable. I'm like texting my kid's mom saying shit like I'm a horrible person, like take Nathan away from me, I don't ever want to see him again, like I'm a horrible don't blah blah blah. And it's like I'd never say anything in my life. I'm the most high driven, like confident person. It was like crazy to me to see it. But
yeah, I mean like I try to provide obviously financially for him as much as I can. But I mean obviously that's also no substitution for like having your dad hang out with you every day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess at the end of the day it's balancing out like after this I'm gonna fly and visit him on my way back to Miami. But obviously that's not the same as living there.
No. Do you see him, what, a few times a year at least?
Yeah, I mean like several times a year. Usually whenever I'm doing trips or traveling, I'll fly out and hang out with him. And then we talk kind of on Discord and stuff, although he kind of gravitated a little more from games and does real life shit now, so yeah.
Well, that's good. He's not like you then, he's normal.
Not good.
Is he like you?
Yeah, he's a carbon copy.
Yeah?
Yeah, his mom reminds me all the time.
Wow, that's funny.
Yeah.
I know she loves that.
Yeah, for sure.
The career, it's like your whole shit. You're like, I have this a little bit, but you're like psychotically in. Like I don't even know, do you take a lot of days off? You just seem like you're so on.
Yeah, I think every part of my life kind of revolves around it. But I also super enjoy it too. Like I've said, like if I worked at McDonald's, I would come home and probably get on Twitter and like start fighting with people and shit.
Yeah.
It's just,
You did it for 15 years, is this like, this is it, you think, till you die?
Who knows? Maybe I'll retire soon. Go hang out with my kid. Or maybe I'll get banned from everything. So.
With the Alex Jones debate officially wrapped up, we had one extra day in Austin to just hang out.
I've never had a Camel Crush that did me wrong, you know? Unlike cars, my friends, my bank account, I've never had a cigarette that like me up in like a bad way. Like every time I've had one, I've been like, oh, that was good. That made my day better. That made my life improve. I feel stronger, lighter, focused. I feel lasered in. I feel dialed in. I feel like my swag, which was turned low, was just turned way the f up. Okay, so smoke more cigarettes. Do you have any weapons that are made for like maybe like younger individuals? You don't think so? So you'd say that maybe someone of his stature probably is not allowed to shoot a gun?
Good one.
Okay, that's fair. That makes sense. Okay, I appreciate. We just want to get
He
that.
meant no as in he wouldn't say that. No as in not that I'm not allowed to shoot.
No, as in you cannot shoot a gun.
No, that's not what he
No, as-
misunderstood him. It was a double negative. You
No,
fucked
no,
up.
as in
You double-
your
you-
IQ is too low.
Okay.
to shoot a gun. Feel a presence. If I come to your house and I'm banging on the door and
Yeah.
saying open up, are you gonna come out with a Glock and kill me?
I would shoot you from the window.
From the window like a sniper?
Yeah,
Chris Kyle?
exactly. The thing that's like about guns is that most people that are into guns are also retarded and Republican. The donut operator guy seems cool. I haven't seen him say anything or do anything stupid, but I know that like the problem is sometimes saying about a lot of like very political people. Like the last gun thing they did, I saw fucking Alex Stein was there. I'm not gonna be in any proximity to this guy at all. So yeah.
You wanna be around him?
No, I don't. I'll never.
About him?
Anybody that goes into like the kid jokes or the wife jokes, I never associate with a gun. Stupid.
That's the lie.
What?
Well, I feel like because like you hang out with a lot of people who you maybe would consider kind of, I don't know. I mean, okay.
That's usually my red line. That's why I cut off Sneeko and Zerka completely forever.
Here's one criticism I have.
Yeah,
Real criticism. okay?
Yeah, criticize me, baby.
Fuentes.
One of the biggest criticisms Destiny gets is in regards to platforming controversial people, like Nick Fuentes, head of the America First movement. Some people believe he should not be platforming far-right figures because there is an implicit danger if their ideas spread. Others believe these ideas need to be debated out in the open.
Whether or not he was a Nazi or wouldn't have changed him coming on my platform. I think for a while America First was trying to get away from the crazy ultra like Jewish Nazi shit. Maybe
always
there were still like
there.
memes and jokes, but I do think they were, especially with like AFPAC and everything, I think they were trying to move towards like a little bit more mainstream, like probably still like a little bit of the Nazi jokes and shit, but less than they were before. But I think that as soon as he got hooked up with Kanye, I think all of that went completely back, and now they're like totally back on there. Because Fuentes was on a bit of an upshoot before the Kanye shit. AFPAC was really successful. They got what, like 2 Congress people? Marjorie.
Matt Gaetz and Marjorie Taylor.
Yeah, that's a really big deal. That's more than any fucking lefty has ever done for their fucking shit on YouTube. When I'm criticizing his point of view, what I tell people is you should just criticize the point of view. Because the problem is that when you run into somebody, especially somebody who's like a little bit more politically adept, like Fuentes or American First, oh, you're a Nazi, they're gonna start bringing up like a million things that like actual Nazis believe, and they're gonna say, well, we break from Nazis here, and then you're just gonna look like an idiot. Rather than call somebody a Nazi, like just criticize the positions. Like I disagree with Fuentes on like any race realism shit, any like weird immigration shit, any like race-based like stuff like that, but I'll just fight on the policies. But people are very quick to just be like, oh, he's a Nazi, and then they're just like done. And
But then you cut him off.
what?
You cut him, like you wouldn't do content with him now.
I'm trying to think. The current reason I've listened on Blacklist because he does the crazy aggressive deplatforming shit. Like the Griper people will spam report people if they don't like you, which I think is hypocritical and annoying.
Haven't you done that a little bit?
Nah.
I've seen some old video of you reporting Nick's Twitch and getting him banned.
Who? Did that ever happen?
On a stream. This was like 2018 or something. You saw he was on Twitch
Here's
and
the thing that
you
gets
flagged.
rewritten. You should ask my community also if you ever want lore, because they know shit better than I do sometimes. Because there was a big 2v2 debate that I had with me and Hassan versus Nick Fuentes and Sargon of Akkad. And I remember after that stream, Nick's stream got banned. And I complained on stream, and I messaged my partner contact because I said like just curious, like why did he get banned? Because if I'm debating somebody saying I'm pro-platforming and then they get banned afterwards, that makes me look stupid. Like why the fuck would I ever do that? But there might have been, because I know that people say I spam reported Nick after that debate, and I'm almost positive I didn't.
There's
I know
some video of
that
you on stream, not spam.
That
recording,
might have
but
been-
You actively are like pressing the report
That
button.
might have been a year before or 2 years earlier, but there was a time when I first started getting into politics where I kind of believed in the like, well, maybe we shouldn't platform like certain points of view, but that position has changed over time. By the time COVID rolled around, my position was I don't care about like hate speech or anything like that, but I could understand people banning for like aggressive like misinformation or disinformation, like people just like lie online, or like if you want to spam racial slurs or whatever, that's another thing. But prior to that, I kind of went back and forth to where I was like, well, maybe we should like debate everybody. But then I would get salty because when I would get banned, they would all cheer on like me getting banned. And I think at some point I'm like, yeah, well, these guys. So I kind of go back and forth. But for the past like 2 or 3 years, I've been pretty like, yeah.
Because there was a time in 2018 when you would talk about like people who deserve to be deplatformed are people who actively spread misinformation.
that was when I was on the
social media.
misinformation thing, yeah.
But you don't hold that opinion anymore?
No, I don't think so. I don't think that works.
Why not?
Because the ideas are really pervasive. So it doesn't really work to just ban them out of existence. Obviously, it didn't work for COVID misinformation. It doesn't work for Trump misinformation. It didn't work for vaccine misinformation. So you probably have to be able to like confront it and deal with it. And then 2 is because I had a big shift in terms of how I viewed like combating misinformation. For a long time, you've heard like the saying like the truth can barely get its pants on before like a lie gets halfway around the world. There's like all these sayings or whatever. A lot of people on the right spend a lot of time making their stuff very entertaining, very funny, and that's how they're so good at like messaging to people. And I think people on the left just like don't even try. I think if you try hard enough, I think you can combat it. It just takes a lot of effort. Yeah.
So you'd say probably these viewpoints you have a very pragmatic approach to them.
All of it is
like
pragmatic,
whatever
hopefully.
works.
Yeah.
Societally, if it did get rid of those opinions to censor all that misinformation, all those people, you'd be in favor of deplatforming if it was just like you get them off the platform and then
I think
the
it would
water
depend
stops.
on the type of misinformation and the level of harm, I think.
Like
If, like, let's say hypothetically, let's say there was some piece of misinformation you could spread that would get people to, like, eat Tide Pods or something. And let's say that this particular piece of information was so juicy that, like, if somebody heard it, there was like a 30% chance that they were going to start eating Tide Pods. I might say, like, okay, well, maybe this speech needs to be banned because, like, 100 million people just died from eating Tide. Maybe. I can't imagine there's anything like that, but I mean, people just need to do a better job at arguing them. You
how
ready to
come
go?
one side of your beard really comes in and the other doesn't?
Because it's called alopecia. I got so stressed out when I was f***ing your mom in the ass after she told me she had AIDS that I was worried for a while I was going to get HIV, and then a bunch of hair fell out.
It's kind of interesting because it's like a very like, there's like none there and it's all there.
I was half joking, but I'm serious, yeah.
Oh, it looks
It's like
nice? You think it looks nice?
No, it's fucked. Yeah, but there's like a thing that hopefully comes back in 6 months.
Having any facial hair is good. Okay, hold on. You're the person that she's rizzing right now. Can we get like a review? Like, how would you review Destiny's appearance? Like, how would we review
Shut
this?
up. No, stop. Let's go.
This is Destiny's new trad princess, by the way. This is Destiny's, guys. We're here
Okay,
with
let's go,
Destiny's
go.
trad Roy Bet,
Done.
Destiny's red-pilled girlfriend. Okay, we're gonna make the Aryan race proud. Wait, do you have blue eyes? Whoa, that's beautiful.
Nice. I know I am. I'm sighting my target, okay? Try to be a safe gun owner. Jeez. Let me operate, okay? My God.
Feel more badass now.
That's good. Okay.
Oh my god, I'm in Destiny's car. Can we play all the classic Destiny tracks? Like, do you love black people?
Dude, oh my God, the one with the Jesse Lee Peterson?
Destiny. How did you get the name? Is that a lady name?
Yeah, kind of. I made it when I was like 9.
Online, you pretend to be a woman?
No, I just have a feminine name, I guess.
Yeah, that's a girl name. Men will never betas. Are you a beta male?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
Beta.
dude, like, when he, like, called you a beta, I was like, oh, that was so good.
So we decided to do some fun gamer things, some fun soy things with Destiny, which included going to an arcade bar, the favorite watering hole among soy gamers in Texas. Although in fairness, I actually enjoyed it quite a bit, so count me in, I guess.
Oh, were you on easy and he was on medium?
We were both on medium.
Oh my God.
So this is probably gonna play your mom's pussy.
Yeah, horribly. True.
It's fucking melt time. Melt time is fucking back.
Dancer on more, dude. Look cool. Probably one of the most awkward things is when you're like, somebody comes up to you in a public area and they're kind of like chatting with you, and you're not sure if they're a fan or if it's like somebody talking. You're gonna be like, I don't mean to sound like conceited, but like, do you know who I am?
Do you know who I am?
Dude, you know like how?
Have you had it happen where they don't?
Yeah, and then, then I'm like, oh no, I just went like, yeah, oh yeah, it's so awkward.
That must come across like such a fucking dickhead.
Like, yeah, like,
Your masculinity is on the line here.
I'm a beta male if I don't win.
Yeah, you are.
oh no, let me get you! Oh! Okay. Oh my God! Oh my God! That's a punch thing! Go!
Why you gotta teach you the fucking punch thing, dude? Of course you picked the mortify looking ass girl.
Oh no! Dude, my arms are shorter! Oh, I can do... No, wait! No! No!
What the f is that? That?
He got Shiva, dude.
That's ridiculous. That's the most insane thing I've ever seen in my life.
No! You cheated!
Yeah, I cheated, that's true.
There you go. Good night.
It's not going. Okay, why don't you play the fucking game? Go ahead, figure it out. Figure the fuck out, Steven.
I don't know.
No, you know how to play it. Come on, you told me you know how to play it. You can play it. You're a good guy. Oh, you're so good. Wait, you're so good. Wait, I didn't know you were so good at this game.
With our time in Austin out of the way, it was time for the second stop on our journey, Alexandria, Louisiana. There, we met up with Kennedy and Baker of Intuitive Defense on YouTube.
Where can we find your stuff on YouTube for the fans at home?
At intuitivedefense.com, we train people to go from beginner and cross the barrier from beginner into intermediate.
I knew that in case there was an armed conflict, Destiny needed to put the Soylent down for a moment and pick up a Glock to defend himself from the libtard horde.
Alright, so we're en route currently to shoot guns with Destiny. We're in Alexandria, Louisiana. I've never been somewhere with like so much nothing. Now keep in mind, I'm from like New England. I'm from like a small town, New England. So we're really out in the sticks here. This is where the most badass American patriots are currently living, who are going to be saving America from the leftist scourge brought on by Stephen Bonnell II, also known as Destiny, also known as Diggity.
What's up, Z? Yeah, dude. Anything for you. So I feel like you hadn't been in enough controversy, and obviously, you need just a little more. No, come back, come back. I'm defending this country against the soy libtards like you. Cuck. He's running away. I'm gonna go get him. I will defend America. I'll defend America.
I'm gonna fight for Nancy Pelosi. Kamala Harris.
Matt Gaetz owns you. Matt Gaetz owns you, little bro. The right wing owns you.
The right? Are you
the
serious?
right owns you.
I'm gonna cuck you so hard. Yeah. You wanna?
Wait. Oh my God. You got me 4?
Yeah.
Whoa. Look at this guy, dude. Wait, hold on. Oh, it doesn't matter. This is more important. Come here. There we go. Oh my gosh.
Look.
I love this little guy. Oh my God. We're solving wars. Steven is trying to escape his responsibilities for defending this country against militant extremists. So we're gonna go find him, find out what he's doing. He might be soying. He's in his goon cave right now. We're gonna get this little Steven to do his fucking job. So we can do what we say.
There you go.
You're disrespecting your country. You're letting them down. What are you doing? You're on your fucking phone?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
We're doing a tactical military operation right now. You have no respect for your commanding officer, which is me.
Stop.
I love making out with my inferior officers. You disrespect this country. You disrespect the United States military. This is what we do to libtards. We do to libtards in Louisiana. You want me to do it? Okay. Should I? Do it. Ow! Holy shit, that hurt.
You're not.
I said we got that libtard taken care of. He'll be way more respectful of his commanding officer now. He needs to get his T levels checked in a serious way.
Come with me.
Oh my God, get some footage of this silly ass jacket.
This is my shooting jacket. Technically, though, like that's probably pretty good, right? Because you're not like shooting like it's not like you're shooting everything. Like it's all like about in that area. So if you fix the trigger pull, it'd probably look about like minor graces.
You're being nice to me.
No, shut up. You f***ing loser. Or it says it's got 9 rounds.
Yeah.
But then when I put in,
rounds.
yeah, but then when I put in the next one, now it says 11
you
rounds.
Look for the shiny.
Yeah.
Look
Thanks.
for the
I know.
brass.
Look, how many rounds are in this?
6.
Wait, what?
That's the follower. This is the base plate.
Oh yeah, duh. Yeah, I was making sure you knew about that because a lot of people don't know about the base plates and the Glock mags, you know.
Hey now, you're a rock star. Come on, go play. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars. Huh?
You can't sing and shoot at the same time.
Break the mold.
Did it come on my nose?
No.
Wait.
Suck it in, hold it in your mouth, and now just push out your nose.
Did that work?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's so
You look so
cool.
badass on
Oh
video,
my
dude.
God. Let me do this. Hold on.
Okay. Try to when you do it, flare your nostrils.
I can't. I don't know how to do that. I only do that when I'm mad. Gotcha.
I think I bought this one.
Just making sure I'm not gonna get any friendly fire over here, okay?
I'm not one of your fucking orbiters, okay? So don't drag me into your mess.
I'm gonna drag my nuts across your face, okay?
I wouldn't even mind. Just like the girls you in your stream.
I fucking love it.
Call me Lav the way I'll lather your dick after I make a false allegation against Hassan Piker. That was the whole strat from the beginning, wasn't it?
Was it the whole strat from the
Manipulate her into slandering your enemies and then pretend to have a problem with it.
Shit, that's a wild accusation, but that wouldn't be the first time you've made a baseless one, huh?
Is if you get put in a situation and all of a sudden you have to shoot and then operate that light, you're going to come up, operate that light, and
Hey Steve,
On the range.
we're gonna wear these when we're shooting tomorrow.
What are they? Okay, what else?
There has to be no. Can we find like the real coat section? You fucking retard. You're in the fucking flannel like poser section. Okay. God, maybe if you cut your hair, you wouldn't have to fucking brush out of your eyes all the time.
But I like to have it so that
Did you dye it today? Oh
did
my
not
god.
fucking dye it.
Look at how different the color is from your eyebrows, bro. Your eyebrow.
Why are your pupils so small? Wait, can you look at how small his pupils are?
No, that's normal. You're just high all the time, so
That's
you can't tell what
not
they look like
normal.
anymore.
That's not normal.
Yes, it is.
They're fucking. Are you on Fentanyl?
Why would that make my
Bro,
pupils small?
I'm so addicted to Destiny streams. I did Fentanyl.
Shut up.
I did Fentanyl.
You know what I hate about the smalls? Every time you open the fucking pockets, you know what's in these?
What the fuck?
It's so fucking horrible.
Get another one. Come on, get it out.
Stop. This doesn't even
That looks
fit
like
me.
it fits
I
you
can't.
perfectly.
Look at
Tell
me.
me that doesn't fit him.
No.
Yeah. You have the smallest shoulders I've ever seen.
I'm
on
like a
man.
triangle. I'm a walking triangle.
Walking
when you look
pizza.
at me. That's how broad my shoulders
Johnny
are.
Bravo.
Yes!
Right here, dude. I found a medium.
Bro! Holy
You
shit.
look so
Are you
cute
getting that for your
bundled up in
girlfriend?
this. That's funny.
Yes!
I'm sorry, dude, I got it. I needed some medium. Okay.
I like how every time you laugh, your shoulders are like. You just fart at me. Being with you, it's like being with like a shithead younger brother.
You're in the men's section. You're not allowed to shop here. Oh my god. She's white. Make fun of her for that. That's cool.
Make fun of her? That's good.
I bet her ancestors owned slaves. You see how blue those eyes are?
I bet she owns slaves now.
True.
Speaking of blue eyes.
What? Barely.
Barely?
Barely.
Barely?
How am I 35 so getting dragged around clothing shopping by some white woman?
How are you 35 spending all day playing League of Legends like a loser?
I don't play League. I did that when I was
I don't
33.
play- oh,
Dumbass. Yeah, way different.
Now you play what?
Way fucking
Factorio?
different. The only reason I played League that long is because your mom would suck me off. Wait, hang that up.
Hang that up. You have to hang that up.
You know what his girlfriend's favorite food brand is? Gerber.
Gerber? I hardly know her. Oh, you're gonna need some of these after I roast you? You fill up your diaper?
I'm Destiny. I just filled up my diaper. Live expose me again.
He's gonna get us kicked out.
How funny would it be if we could kick out of a Walmart on video?
If we get
You show we're that
I don't wanna get
autistic?
kicked. I don't do that. I'm not that kind of streamer.
I don't do that.
I'm not that kind of streamer.
I'm not that kind of streamer.
Good one, dude.
I'm just the most degenerate guy. Just the Adam 22.
Stop. You gotta get the away from me.
What the?
Yeah, bro.
I can be anything I want.
Yeah. Nice to meet you too, man. Does Tom have fans anywhere? Unlock it.
I always open the door for my ladies.
Oh my god.
I open the door for my
Oh, my
ladies.
babe. My
You gonna fart at me again?
Oh my god, thank you. Hello. Hey, babe. Don't know. You're gonna definitely hurt yourself, okay?
Okay, get inside. We are officially returning to the Intuitive Defense residence. Yesterday at Walmart, we made sure to get some cool clothing to wear. Climb to the fucking car that I rented. You can't even open the fucking trunk. Ugh. Oh shit! How'd you do that? So epic. This is going in the video, right? Whoa. Owned. Oh, that was so epic, dude. I know we've had a lot of people complaining about representation on the Turkey Tom channel. You know, they say, Tom, where's Black Turkey Tom? Okay, so my son at home can relate and have a YouTube role model other than KSI. Well, I'm proud to announce that we're officially representing now. We picked this up the other day from Gucci. You know, I just really wanted to speak out for the community and pay back the people who have made me rich and successful to the point where I can afford to rent this shitbox Jeep where the trunk doesn't even fucking open. I love you. I love you. You still in bed?
Wait, this is actually where Destiny lives? Wait, this is actually where Destiny lives.
Oh, the sun is shining, son. It's time to do your chores. It's time to take out the trash.
Go start practicing so I can come out and shoot, you fucking losers.
What do you mean, dude? You need to practice. You're in fucking bed, dude.
I've already done all this.
You didn't play COD with us last night.
Yeah, I'm sleeping, trying not to die.
Oh my god, dude. Holy shit. You're You're literally a pussy, dude. You're literally a pussy. We tried. We're kind of unsuccessful in waking the soy boy, but it's okay.
Hi. Are you winning?
I'm waiting for you to put your glasses on, dork. Got a representation?
Hell yes.
You pat your belly?
Bro. Or not MLK, sorry, Malcolm X. He's from Lincoln, you know? That's
You can lose a little more weight.
I'm about to lose 180 pounds if you talk to me like that ever again. Put your ears on. You're gonna go deaf.
Destiny's so concerned with my health. It's so sweet. Oh, Destiny's a fucking shit. Bottle the shit. Some black excellence right there. Good shit. You like lobster?
Only when I can their mouths.
Do you like to eat lobster?
I like to hold their claws like pigtails, and then I go like, like that.
Oh, the vegan Gaines lobster thing. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're sentient. And then you're like, they have like 2 neurons.
Yeah, and I've gotten no accidents, so suck my dick. No accidents and 20 speeding tickets. So who's really keeping the country safe? Okay.
You were on a court date or no?
Court date?
For speeding.
I had my license revoked for 2 years.
Really?
Yeah, King Iowa me.
What do you do?
Start smoking, it'll make you better at shooting. All right, so you want to do one more and then call it a day?
Sure.
All right.
Tiebreaker. You want to both fire to this one?
Let's do this guy.
Okay.
If they ever do influencer boxing again and they offer us each like a large sum of money, that'd be so fun.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's like pretend we're gonna go easy on each other, but I'm just gonna beat the shit out of you.
Okay. We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah,
I think my
both been,
reach. I think my reach. I would just own you.
Yeah, but we've
You
been
got these little
roiding.
arms.
We both roid for months. I'd get in there.
You can't do that.
I'd get in there. I'd give you the hugs, and then hit you in the back of the head. That's a strategy, right?
Yeah.
Load up! I'm hungry. I wanna go to Applebee's.
All right, this one's loaded. Do you want to go first?
If I go first, it's gonna be hard because you're gonna say I'm not gonna miss a single time, so you get a lot of pressure. 8 rounds, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4,
5,
5,
6,
6,
7,
7,
8. Load your weapon. Slayer.
Fuck!
Oh my god. Look empty?
Yep.
Magwell? Cool.
So we 1 miss, okay? That's a count. That's absolutely a count.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yep.
2 miss and 3, I guess. This is, yeah,
3 misses.
3 misses.
So 5 hits.
But
Load your weapon! Hey, you remember the order? Yep. Okay. Threat! No shot, that doesn't count. Oh my god.
Good. I think I hit 6.
I think you really only missed 1.
So for sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Good game.
You're a champion.
Good job.
Good job.
DGG.
You did it.
That's DGG.
Guys, I feel a dark presence in this forest. I think it's a libtard here.
We've got a serious fucking problem here. Oh my god.
I didn't think it was this bad. Oh my god, all of his cuckery, all of his soy, all of his estrogen, all of his fentanyl, all of his pooptanol, dude, it's everywhere. But it's okay. I've dealt with situations like this before. I've been hired by many individuals across the great Pan-American landscape to deal with the libtard scourge, and the only way I know how, by teaching them to be an alpha male. Too much soy, dude? You get closer than that.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Good night. No work ethic from these people, dude. These Californians have no respect for anything.
Louisiana was great. Big thanks to Kennedy and Baker. You can check out their channel in the description below.
We're gonna go back to the beginning. We're gonna go back to the way beginning.
okay.
What were you like growing up? What were your plans? Who do you want to be?
Just kind of, live the day to day, you know. What are you doing? You're making it awkward.
Okay. So you're in wind ensemble.
growing up? Your passion?
Concert band, actually. I'm sorry, it was a concert band. But yeah, no violins. I'm play saxophone.
Violins.
Yeah.
Playing saxophone.
Yeah,
growing
which
up.
makes sense. Yeah.
And you go to college for that.
Yeah.
And before that, you had gone to a
High
Catholic
school.
High school.
Yeah, Jesuit.
High school.
Yeah.
Did you do well in school?
I took a lot of good classes, but I was kind of bad at homework and stuff.
Why? You lazy?
Yeah.
Things you don't like?
I had focus issues. If it wasn't like interesting to me, I didn't want to like spend any time on it outside of class, so I would play video games.
Okay.
Probably too many video games.
But despite that, you did okay.
We'll say my GPA was below a 3.0. Probably shouldn't have been.
Below a 3?
Yeah.
So you go to state school, you're in college, you're doing music stuff.
Okay, this is good.
And I guess you were enjoying that or something. Did you have it in your mind that you were going to make money from that or be successful in any way?
Probably not. I'm always pretty pragmatic. But I was doing really good at another job I had, like at a casino. So I figured I could just like, that would be my career and I could do music on the side.
And your family had money?
No.
No?
No.
What did your parents do growing up?
My parents were in the Air Force, and then my dad got his full retirement. My mom left a year early, unfortunately.
Okay, so he got his pension.
Yeah.
And then what? He's working outside of that.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, my mom did daycare full time.
At your house?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then my dad kind of helped her with that. So.
So you were around a lot of like little kids growing up then?
Yeah.
Okay. You think that like helped you socially?
They helped me like babies. I like babies. I think babies are cute.
Really?
Help me understand like kids, like different stages of development and shit, because you'd see so many of them.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I didn't socialize with them much. I was usually up in my room playing games while my parents watched the kids.
And you have the casino job that's going well.
Yeah.
You have school, but at some point you reach this inflection point when it's not working out. You don't have enough time to do school with the job.
Yeah, basically. I think I was probably working around 60 hours a week at the casino job, and it was a graveyard shift.
And then as soon as I got to school, I failed almost every single class because I was missing tests, I was missing exams, I was missing classes, because I would always be staying late to work at the casino. It was me.
So coming in and doing a graveyard while also doing music school full time was pretty schedule intensive.
Yeah, you weren't really sleeping that soon.
No, yeah.
Yeah, and with all that, despite the stress, you were in a decent position in life. I know you got a house around that time, you had your car. I mean, things were doing okay, right?
I don't think I had a house before I quit school.
Maybe not before you quit school, but for the casino, you had to get approved by their like office or something to give them to give proof to the loan, to get pre-proof of the loan to get a house. And so you were making decent money at the casino, like what, 20 an hour?
It was 15 an hour, and then a lot of overtime.
But the casino job's going really good. People like you, and then in your mind, you realize there's a point when they're getting ready to write you up and sort of paper you out, right?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
The well, kind of not. I didn't realize that until afterwards, but I started to run into problems with management, and I didn't understand like corporate management communication styles or anything. I was just like totally clueless. And I was a really good worker.
Well, I have this job at the casino where I'm doing really well. People really like me there. I kick ass at the job that I do. I knew everything about every part of the casino. I knew how to do other people's jobs. I could issue comps out of other computers. I knew how the entire back end to the reward system worked. I knew how all the IT and everything worked between my restaurant and the IT department.
And I always thought that like just being a good worker is enough probably to insulate you from all forms of disciplinary action. And that's not true.
No.
Especially once I started to butt heads with my manager in terms of like how to do shit at the restaurant. So yeah, I kind of got marked for deletion, and I didn't realize it until it was too late.
But at the time, you were playing a lot of video games.
Yeah, I always was playing games. Yeah.
From when you were a young kid until your adulthood, and you would sink time into that after work, I assume. Twitch wasn't really a thing, right? Twitch wasn't
No,
really
streaming at all wasn't really a thing. No.
Yeah. But I mean, how did you get involved in that? How did you even start getting into streaming?
I want to say a long, long time ago. It must have been when I was still working at the casino. No, it wasn't. It was afterwards. I think a friend turned me on to the idea. Kyle.
Kyle, say hi to everybody.
Junior webcam.
Dude, you're fucking enormous, Kyle. No, he's got a big army! Yes, it worked! Kyle, it's a retard magnet!
Turned me on to the idea of like, there were like some kids I think online that kind of did streaming stuff where they found a way to like live stream their computer games and like shout and play and all that.
But it wasn't on like Justin.tv either.
No, I think Justin TV I think existed, but back then it was a guy with a camera on his head who was trying to like live stream his life, which was at the time, ironically enough, is what has become kind of more popular now. But at the time,
People did that back then?
he did. Justin did.
Okay.
And then, but the website that I started streaming on was actually livestream.com, and then I switched to ustream.com, and then eventually justin.tv.
Okay. Did you make money off livestream.com or ustream.com?
Not on the websites directly, but sometimes people ship you like $5 on PayPal or whatever. So.
Okay, so you had a little bit of donations coming in, but nothing serious.
A little bit, yeah.
But at some point while you're working this casino job.
That was that streaming stuff though. That was during the carpet cleaning job after though.
Okay, so you weren't streaming at all during the casino.
No.
Thing? Not at all.
No.
So you get fired from the casino.
Yeah.
You have no work history, and that's when you go from a job that's decently paying. You had your house. I think you had a pretty nice car, right? You had the GTI back then.
Yeah.
Which is like, I mean, expensive car for someone who's in their early 20s, $45,000, something like that.
I want to say like $30,000 or $25,000, but
maybe back then.
Maybe yeah.
More expensive now. The monetary value of money changes with time.
Wow.
I learned that from your mom.
Good, yeah. She teach you real versus nominal value?
She taught me real versus nominal value. She also taught me fiscal responsibility.
That's really good.
Yeah.
Real versus nominal is like, real would be like actual, like in inflation adjusted, and then nominal is like what it was at the time. So like when you tell a girl like my dick is like 7 inches long, that's a nominal value because that's in Tom's world. But in the real world, it's probably like 3 or 4 inches, 7?
That's too small.
Yeah.
We're in the BWC gang.
Oh yeah,
okay.
BWC.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know why you pay your camera guy so much, because he's getting angles for BWC porn.
You make me want to say that word so bad. Oh my
Why?
God, bro. Because you just make me rage.
Just say it.
Okay.
You're fine.
No, I'm not going to say it.
No,
It's
just
fine.
say it one time.
I don't want to say it.
Why?
I don't want to say it.
If I say it with you, will it be okay?
I'm not a fucking racist.
Okay, that's fine.
I never say that word.
Me neither.
True. So you get fired from that job, and why do you start carpet cleaning? I mean, that seems like, not that it's like, a beneath anyone, but I mean, it's kind of like less good than the casino job.
Yeah, I don't know. I basically cashed out my 401k that might have had like, God, maybe like, I don't even know. It was less than $10,000. But I think I cashed out like my 401k and everything from the casino. And then I'm at home and StarCraft 2 comes out. So I start like grinding that for a few months while I live off my 401k. But then eventually I have to get a job again because I'm running out of money. And my girlfriend is working at the time, but we have to keep the house. So I don't know what to do because I don't like the idea of downgrading jobs. It feels really weird because every job has been like a step up. And I can't really use the casino now for my work history since I got fired. So I just have this huge like gaping hole except for McDonald's. And then I ended up failing college for the casino job. So my shit is kind of like...
Did you apply to a bunch of places and the carpet cleaning was the only one you got back?
I applied to a few places, but my uncle was actually friends with somebody that worked at that job, and he turned me on to it. He's like,
so you could get it?
Yeah. It's like, okay, fine, sure.
What are you making there?
It's complicated. Technically, I made $16 an hour for commission. The jobs were like really scattered throughout the day, so sometimes it sucked. So for instance, I might come into work at 7 a.m., and from 7 to 8, we're like preparing our trucks, and then maybe I've got one job from like 9 to 11, and I might make $32 for that 9 to 11 job, and then I might have one more job from like 1 to 3, and I might make another $32 there, and then I might have one more job from like 5 to 7, and I'll make another $32 there. So that's like 96 bucks, but I'm there for like maybe 13 or 14 hours.
Yeah.
So.
And you can't just like go home and do it.
I mean, like I can, but like the gas, the wear and tear on the car, it's like a 15-minute drive home. Like between every job, it's just.
Yeah.
Yeah. Although I started to, in my carpet cleaning truck, if I had time between jobs, when I started streaming, I would drive home and just like stream a little bit between jobs. I think there might still be a YouTube video out there. I refer to a place called Guaranteed Clean. I think there's a YouTube video of me like calling a lady and trying to push her job back an hour. Like, hey, this is Steve from Guaranteed Clean.
Hey, this is Steve with Guaranteed Clean. I was just calling to let you know that we just finished up our last job, but we are in Council Bluffs, so the drive's a little long. I'll probably be there closer to 2:30. If there's any problem with that, just give me a call back at 714-8841. Thank you very much. Otherwise, I'll plan on seeing you around then. Thank you. All right, one more game, bros.
Will you push your carpet cleaning job back
You're
1
comfortable
hour?
doing that on live stream? You didn't like
Yeah, but back then it was like 30 people watching. Like that had no connection to the real world at all.
So there was zero chance.
No.
Yeah.
When I first started streaming, I remember I like added all my viewers on like my Facebook friends list. I was like, oh, cool.
Like just all your friends from high school,
why not,
college, whatever.
Yeah.
Who cares? I mean, that meant that your personal life and your streaming life never really had like a disconnect. You were never like anonymous.
Yeah, kind of, yeah. I never really thought about it much. Like being anonymous, like I don't care. Like my first name on Justin TV was Steven_Bonnell_II.
But even with like saying all the crazy shit you were saying, you weren't worried it would come back to bite you?
I don't think so, no. I'm trying to think. I just don't think cancel culture and shit was really that much of a thing back then. That really took off in like 2013, I think.
Yeah, but
like the idea of like getting fired or something happening to you because of something you said online in like 2010. Would that?
You seem ridiculous.
I don't think it happened much. Not that I remember. Yeah.
Yeah. So, the carpet cleaning job, was that good? Was that fun?
No.
Shit?
Yeah.
Because of the money, because of the job itself?
Money, job itself, customers, every part of it was horrible.
Were you making enough to get by?
No.
Were you in debt?
I think house payments started to fall behind, and then I don't think any other bills lapsed, but yeah.
Mhm.
I never went into like payday loans or anything because I knew how stupid they were. I'd rather just lose my house. but
Was
yeah.
your girlfriend at the time, was she helping you out?
Yeah, she was. She always worked. Yeah.
So while you're doing carpet cleaning and you're trying to stream a little bit, you get your girlfriend pregnant at the time, right?
Yeah. I mean, we both did it. It wasn't just me. You made it sound like a rape.
Don't people just say got her pregnant?
Well, it was a two-person process. Okay.
Okay, you collectively got
Thank
her
you. Yeah,
pregnant.
we got pregnant.
There you go.
Yeah.
You cohabitated
There we go.
that
Thank you. Yeah.
situation. What's going through your head when you, at 24, have a kid on the way?
20 wasn't it? I think it was like 21.
Okay, at 21.
Nathan was born in March of 2011, so.
Okay.
I was born in '88, so.
So you're 21.
22.
You're my age now.
Yeah.
What's going through your head when that happens?
I think she tells me, and I don't believe her, and I just roll over and go to sleep. And I'm like, fuck.
That's it?
Well, what the fuck are you gonna do? You gotta go to work.
At the time where you like, let's get rid of it?
I mean, I was like super pro-life at the time, so it wasn't really an option.
You're conservative?
Not really, but I was pretty pro-life. I grew up very conservative. No, actually, I would have still been pretty conservative, yeah.
Why were you pro-life? Was that like a religious thing?
It just seemed like the most logically consistent. Like, how could you, like, when does life begin if not at conception, right?
Okay, and nothing had dissuaded you outside of that? No research or anything?
Not at the time, no.
Okay, so you basically are like, well, I'm having the kid. There's no way around it. I'm gonna have this kid. Meanwhile, you're falling behind on bills. You're working a shitty job. Was your relationship going well?
No.
Why?
We just didn't. We don't live together well.
Why?
Because we were different people, and yeah.
You said at the time that you were hitting each other or something.
I remember you showed your scars from fighting with her on stream. That was a long time ago. That was when I was documenting evidence in case she tried to do shit. But like I said, we've moved on from all of that, I think.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. I think when I disconnect, I kind of like withdraw a lot, and then the other person starts to go crazy because I'm like kind of pulling back and they want more, and then that escalates into bad things.
Why weren't you getting along? You can't talk about that?
It wasn't like, I bet if you asked her, she'd have more reasons. I don't ever remember like a particular thing. I think it was more just me kind of like slowly withdrawing or losing interest kind of, and then her like kind of pursuing more. And then that like dynamic.
More attention from you.
Yeah, and then that dynamic
And that
always like
made
gets
you
really explosive.
irritated?
Kind of, yeah, I guess.
Why did you withdraw? What happened?
I don't know, that's my problem solving style. I just like withdraw and close up, lock down.
I talked to you about this earlier, but I watched this video from 2014 of you. It has like 60K views in your channel. A ton of recent comments actually from newer DGGers, but the video is you talking about like the state of your life and your trajectory and like how you feel about things, and you talk about how you get bored of women.
I think it's like a double-edged sword. Like, in one hand, I can joke about any aspect of my life. Like, I really don't, it doesn't bother me that much. But in other hands, sometimes it's hard to take things seriously, which is another big problem I have, right? And other times, like in relationships, like if there's a serious discussion, usually I'll be making jokes and the other person will be mad. They're like, oh, you can't take anything seriously. And it's like, I mean, to some extent, you're kind of right. I really don't take anything seriously. So, I mean, it's good sometimes, it's bad other times. It really just depends.
And like every relationship you had, because you'd had relationships before that, you had a wife before that, right?
Yeah, my girlfriend from high school. We had to get married for FAFSA stuff to get student aid.
Okay. So every relationship you had basically went, you meet her, you get really infatuated, you guys get along really well, and then at a certain point you kind of get bored, and maybe if there's problems you kind of sink into yourself and just go focus on yourself. And don't
Maybe a little bit. I don't know if I would say that it's a pattern at that point though, because my kid's mom was my second serious relationship. So like
at that point, I think you had said that you felt it was kind of a pattern where you get like infatuated with someone and you like feel in love
I
with
think
them.
retroactively I kind of realized it, but at the time there was no way, because again it was my second relationship. There's no way I could establish or identify a pattern at that point.
Right. Okay. So you guys aren't getting along. Life's kind of shit. In this video, you say that was like the closest you've gotten to maybe wanting to kill yourself.
Dude, I got so f***ed up at that job, dude. It was the closest I'd ever come to kill myself.
Wow. Just because of how dark things were.
Yeah.
And then your friend, Chris, who you had online, who you knew very well apparently.
Kind of. That was earlier. He killed himself while I was still working at the casino.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, I thought, okay.
The Chris thing, we've talked about this a million f***ing times. Basically, Chris thing is a friend that I hung out with every weekend. He's the one that actually got me into poker.
Sensibly.
And there are videos of people where they claim that you kind of contributed to his death in some way because you guys had some conversation about like existence and the meaning of life, and he was telling you he was just in a really rough spot, he was really doing poorly. And there's a video of you saying, like at some point you basically said to him like,
Well, I guess if that's really how you feel, you should just do it.
Basically, he got busted for marijuana. It was like a $600 ticket or a $600 fine or something. He thought he'd never have the money for it. And basically, he said that he would pretty much figure that since he had nothing going for him, he was going to kill himself. And at the time, because of where I was at in my life, we talked a lot about it, and I was like, I mean, like, it's your life, dude. Don't let anybody else control you. If you really feel like yourself is the best thing, then by all means, like, go for it. Personally, I disagree or whatever. And then he did it. So, I mean, at the time, I was okay with it. I mean, this is really fucked up. I took the night off work and just played StarCraft all night. But looking back on it later, I think it was a pretty big mistake.
He did it.
Jesus. Is that really what I said?
Yeah.
That's wild.
In the video. And then in this video that I watched, you're kind of like talking about how like you kind of regret not doing everything you could to like stop that from happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think what actually happened, the thing is like when I tell the story, depending on like the clips, like I feel like it's obvious I'm joking at points, but maybe it's not depending on the compilation you've seen.
Okay.
But basically what happened was actually I could say whatever I want about him because he's dead. He was kind of a loser in that he kind of, I don't even know if he finished high school. He didn't like know how to drive. He didn't really have a job. He kind of didn't do anything. But he was like a cool dude. We'd like play games growing up. I would drive over every weekend to pick him up and then bring him back to Omaha and we'd hang out. We'd play poker, whatever, play games and stuff. And I guess one of the ways that he was making money on the side was selling weed. And he got busted selling weed to an undercover cop. So he had like an upcoming trial date and he had literally nothing happening whatsoever in his life. And
no job, no girlfriend.
Yeah, nothing.
Couldn't drive?
No.
How do you not learn how to drive?
I don't know. He was like 20 years old. Nothing.
Okay.
Yeah. Do you know how to drive?
Yeah.
Bullshit. Does he know how to drive? Not a clear yes.
He's paid. He was bought and paid for. Controlled opposition.
He gets busted with that. We're talking for a bit. It's me, him. There's another guy called Ted, who's a friend of his as well. But he basically starts talking about how he thinks he wants to himself. We're kind of like talking back and forth, and obviously, I don't want him to kill himself. He's my best friend.
Yeah.
And I try to kind of like hype him up a little bit, where I'm like, oh, like I don't think you should do it because obviously like you've got a lot of things that you can do in life and blah blah blah. And we're still young and all that. And he's kind of like going back and forth on it. He starts talking about like how he tries to like himself in like really shitty, retarded ways. Like I remember one of the things he said was he tried like tying shoelaces around his like legs to like suffocate him and die. I don't know. It was
to make like a blood clot or something.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like dumb shit. Yeah. And he's telling me about this, and we're kind of like we're still like talking back and forth. And I was like, hey, like I think it's probably not a good idea. Yeah, I think I was playing Brood War, and then Rachel and her friend were over, and then for some reason her friend Sarah, she's like, oh shit, Steve, and I'm like, what's up? And she's like, is this like Chris from your friend like in Iowa? And like, what's up? And then there's like a news article of some guy that got ran over by a train on some train tracks. Like, oh shit.
Especially the way that he did it, he was pretty adventurous. Probably shouldn't say adventurous. He decided to lay down on some railroad tracks himself. Oh, holy shit! They have pictures of him here. Damn.
He apparently himself like the prior night. And when I talk about like regrets that I have, I guess the big conflict I had at the time was I didn't know if I should like reach out and like call the cops or like talk to his parents or talk to like a mental health professional. We didn't really have mental health back in 2010. That was like a 2020 thing.
Was he a close friend of yours?
Yeah, of course, yeah. He was my closest. I knew him since I was like 4 or 5 years old, I think.
So probably like your closest childhood friend.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, and then we hung out like every weekend and shit. But I felt like if I contacted somebody else, I don't know if I'm like betraying his trust or if that's like a thing that's like fair for me to do.
I guess looking back, would you have contacted someone?
Yeah, I probably should have. I think so, yeah.
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 Did that fuck you up at the time?
No, I mean, I felt pretty... I've always been like kind of a numb-ish person. I was probably more numb back then to everything in general, but yeah, I mean, it sucked. I missed work that night.
Because you were crying, you were sad?
I don't know, I felt like I probably should have.
So it wasn't even out of any real emotion, it was just like, I guess...
I don't know, it felt weird. A person's here and then they're gone, and then there's like a guy, and I like look at my AOL Instant Messenger thing, and he's like never gonna log in again, and then I go on Battle of the Net, and I see his like shit there, and I go on RuneScape, and I see his like an old account there, and I'm like, damn, it's kind of weird.
If it would have been like 2 or 3 years later, and my mind was in a different spot, or if I was in a different spot philosophically, I would have done everything I could to stop him from doing it, because I think it's, like, looking back on it now, it's pretty stupid. He was a pretty smart dude. He was really good at all the games and shit that he played, and he was really good at talking to people. He was just kind of fucked up where he was at in life, you know? Looking back at it now, I would have done everything I could have to stop. I'm gonna call his parents, would have called the cops, you know, shit like that. But I wasn't mature enough, I guess, philosophically to think about it at the time, you know?
Yeah, well, I mean, that shows some sense of humanity, probably.
Yeah, I
You're
think
not a
so.
total psycho.
Yeah, I'm pretty human most of the time.
Well,
yeah.
during this video that you're talking about how you feel like, especially early on with streaming and stuff, probably until a few years ago, you used to talk about your sociopathic traits or whatever quite a bit. One of the things you talk about here is like somebody's like, so what's to stop you from becoming like a serial killer? And you're like, well, there's a few reasons. I mean, first say like my life, and I'll probably go to jail. And the second reason, honestly, no, that's probably the only reason. I'm probably, you know, really.
Well, I don't want to like go to jail, damn. But also, I don't think anybody's giving like a reason to kill them. Well, nah, actually, at this point, maybe a couple people, but
well, isn't it?
I still go to jail.
Isn't it wrong?
Well, maybe yeah, that too.
What do you
but
want?
I feel like if I were gonna kill somebody, they must have done something to make me really want to kill them. Right?
Well, I guess the implication of being a serial killer is that you're doing it for no.
Yeah, I would never kill people at random. That's deranged.
Well, yeah, but I think that's the first response usually.
Oh, yeah, that would be deranged. But if you ask me, would you like kill people? Well, like, there's a maybe.
Glock 17 is not gonna happen, all right?
Well, at the time, I think the only person you wanted to kill was the kid that was DDoSing you.
True.
Oh, I did troll the shit out of the DDoS kid. That's a guy, that's one of the people, like, legitimately, like, I was so, you have no, like, it's actually kind of scary, like, how close I was to getting people together to go down to his house and kill him and his family. Or it would have just been him and his father. I don't, because I didn't know anything about it. Dude, that was some of the most fucked up shit in my entire life. I was so fucking close to doing it.
But I don't really blame you for that one.
Thank you.
Because that kind of sucked.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but people still hate you for that.
I don't care.
You don't care?
No.
Are you totally like just disaffected by how people don't?
I don't think most people understand the position. I told you earlier when we were at dinner, what's the quickest way to become unenviable?
Your mom.
Good one. It's if you're out of touch and victimizing yourself.
Yeah.
Those make you impossible to relate to. So at the time, I might have been like the biggest streamer in the world when that was happening, because there was a period where StarCraft 2 was the most popular streaming game, and I was arguably the most popular StarCraft 2 streamer. So I was just de facto like the largest streamer.
Yeah.
So if I'm complaining about getting DDoSed and stuff while I'm like pretty successful streaming and everything, I just look like.
You were self-aware of that even back then?
No, back then I wasn't at all.
No.
No.
So you would complain about it a lot?
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So back then, I mean, going back to, you know, your relationship, things were not really going well. When did you start taking streaming seriously as a thing of like, I should hunker down and like do this? This should be a thing I do.
I think it was when Rachel was still pregnant. Justin TV, I remember Emmett started emailing us saying that they were going to start paying out like ad revenue. And I got my very first paycheck from JTV. I think for like $200 or something. I have the email. It was in like, I think it was in December of 2010. And it was like $203.64. So when I saw the paycheck, I went back and then I added up what I made on PayPal. And then I looked at the hours that I spent streaming, and I'm like, pretty sure if I just stream for the same amount of hours that I do my carpet cleaning job, I make like about the same amount of money. Why the f would I do carpet cleaning when I just sit at home and do this? It's so much easier.
Did it take off immediately? Was this like a instant thing?
It's always been like a slow, gradual build. Like in the first year, I'd have to imagine maybe around like 100 to 150 viewers, maybe.
In one year. You were making enough to live off of that?
The ad revenue was really good on JTV and Twitch back then.
Is this like a pre-roll before the stream or like a banner
It was
ad?
something, I don't remember what it was, but it was something. You might have had a commercial button even, but
yeah.
I remember my second year I made almost 100K. So my first year was probably around like 30 or 40, 50K maybe, which was better than I was, because carpet cleaning I was making like 20K.
And you were still with Rachel at this point in time?
Kind of. Our relationship was really weird. We rotated around between me living, I think initially I lived at the house, and then she lived with her mom, who was about an hour away. And then when Nathan was born, her being at the house with her mom and Nathan was kind of shitty, and dad and everybody else, so they came back to the house, and then I started living in like apartments around Omaha. But that got really weird, because I remember I lived with one lady and her kind of boyfriend or something, and I was like living, it was like a, are they townhomes? There was like an upstairs, and I lived in the apartment up there, and I slept on like this like cot thing on the floor. And I remember one time I was streaming, and like, I think I was shouting, I was like, oh, you motherfucker, and this woman came upstairs and she was like, how dare you use that language when my daughter's in the house? It was just like really fucking awkward.
This is on stream?
I don't know, no, I don't think that was ever on stream, or it might have been, but those videos don't exist anymore. Because this would have been back in like 2011 or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I hopped around a couple apartments in the area, and it was like so awkward and weird, and yeah, I don't know.
You could have just gotten your own with the money you were making?
I don't know why I didn't. Maybe I feel like I didn't make enough money for that.
Maybe you were just planning for the future of it not working.
Oh no, because I was still paying for the house. So I don't think I had, I don't think I felt like.
You were paying a mortgage at the same time.
Yeah, I don't think I felt like I had the money, because Rachel couldn't work while she was pregnant, and she didn't have money for the full house, and I didn't want my kid's mom to be homeless.
So I don't think I had enough money for the house and for a whole apartment on my own. So I would just try to live with people. I remember what I did. I ended up living with my ex-wife, I think 6 to 12 months.
She was cool with that?
I guess, yeah.
Your relationship wasn't like rekindling or whatever? You were just...
No, not at all.
You were just doing your own thing?
Yeah, somehow, yeah.
Huh. It usually doesn't work that way.
Yeah, kind of weird.
Your second year, you make 100K.
Something, yeah. I got destroyed with the tax bill on the next.
Yeah, didn't you say? Oh fuck! There's some video of you talking about how like you made the money in a year and then you spent like $80,000 of it or something, and you were like, wait, where the did all my money go?
Yeah, because when you're, this is gonna be really out of touch statements, but when you go from broke to making 100K seems like $10 million. It's like $100,000. But 100,000 in a year you can blow through really fast.
Where do you spend that money on? Just like
I don't know. Like I don't know. Traveling and food and just you can blow through 100K really fast if you're like eating out all the time and everything. Once you're making like, I don't know. Once you're making like 250 to 500K, it's pretty hard to get rid of that money. And then once you're like making $1 million a year, you can just like spend tons of money on everything. Or for me at least, I don't run out of money because I don't buy anything besides traveling. But like 100K is like, you can set that money on fire instantly. Just like with a few plane tickets and then eating out all the time and then whatever.
Did the money keep going up from there? Like gradually scaling like 40,
Yeah, it kind of
100?
did. It was just, I was always in a weird spot because I was trying to pay for my kid and my kid's mom.
How were you splitting up like your personal versus like work life? Like were you
I don't think I had any personal life at all. I was just streaming constantly because I was a professional gamer. So I was like playing StarCraft, like it would have been at least like 10 to 12 hours a day. Yeah.
Were you going to like take care of your kid and then coming back? Or were you just like the stream god?
I think it like varied based on how me and Rachel were at the time. I don't know if these streams still exist anymore, but I know that like when kids are first born, so like you can take a baby and you put them down on a thing and you can like burrito them. So I think there are early streams of me because for early babies, if they're not like, if they're good babies, Nathan's a really good baby. Just like every 4 hours, they wake up and they're crying, and usually you change them, feed them, burp them, and then you lay them down again. It's like super regular. Nathan was like that. So I could just like burrito him in a blanket and then kind of like stick him on my shoulder up here, and I could just like play. And I could do that for a while. And when me and Rachel weren't fighting, I did that for a while, and that worked. But I think I was like in and out of the house based on how our relationship was at the time.
So you were on and off then?
We were always on and off, but we were also on and off in terms of like, can we live with each other without killing each other?
Was it a thing where like you were like together and you split up and see other people and then come back, or was it just like?
No, it was just chaotic, hectic. There was no organization or plan.
It was just a one-itis.
Something like that. I don't know.
Did you like really love her at the time? Want it to work out?
I mean, probably, yeah.
Probably.
I mean, as much as no offense, but as much as a 21-year-old can love.
You think it's your understanding of love has changed since then?
Probably, yeah. I was pretty naive at that point, yeah. But I mean, like we had a child together, and like I loved her as much as anybody can. Like we had fun together. We synergized really well. We had good chemistry, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So after, or I guess while this is going on, your streaming's taking off a little bit. But at the time, you weren't a politics guy at all, which is what everyone knows you for now. You were.
I mean, I've always had strong political opinions, and I argued with people all the time, like growing up.
But
I
primarily
wasn't doing
you
that
were
like on
a
stream.
gamer.
Yeah.
Gamer was the guy you were, and
Yeah.
you did talk about your political opinions on stream. But it wasn't like I'm the argument debate guy. At the time, it was like I'm the StarCraft 2 guy.
Yeah.
Okay. But at a certain point, StarCraft starts falling off a little bit, and you had this conversation with, I don't know their names. I want to say one of them is like DJ or something, but it's you and a few other guys having a conversation about StarCraft, and they're debating you.
Okay.
And you're basically telling them about how StarCraft is going to fall off, and you're getting the f out.
We can actually
If we can't hope for Blizzard to do anything, then it's time to just switch fucking games because the audience of this game
Well, then
will
go
only
switch
continue
games.
to dwindle.
Stop being a part of this community. Then you should go play LOL.
Yeah,
I think I just realized actually what we're gonna do. This is the plan, okay? We continue to do nothing and wait, and eventually all of the Korean players are going to be switching over to LoL because Korea is huge on that shit now. And then once they switch over, people like Idra and In Control can go back to winning tournaments. I think that's the plan right now. I love you guys very much. Peace out.
And all of them were like, you're retarded, you're going to fall, your career is going to die. And my understanding is that within a few years, those guys were like not really heard of anymore.
Yeah, I think I kind of saw where things were going. I don't know why, I've always had a good eye for like internet content or trends or whatever, and I could kind of tell that like StarCraft was about to fall off, and that was kind of unfathomable at the time because StarCraft was like the top dog for
Was
so
it
long.
still really popular at the time?
It was, yeah, it was doing really well, yeah. But it was really obvious that like League of Legends was going to start to come up and take over. and that was just a lot of people couldn't see that for some reason. And then I got into an argument with some people over it, and they all kind of made fun of me for it. And I was like, okay, whatever.
So you quit StarCraft, you do other games, but after StarCraft, there was never like a game that was like your.
No, I tried to find them. Like I played a lot of League of Legends, but I don't think I could ever go pro in that. I tried Overwatch for a while, but I only did that for like a few months. I was like, I don't think I can.
Were you good at video games?
I was a semi-pro gamer. When was I good at video games? You're never.
But you weren't good enough to like be pro forever. You weren't, right?
I mean, I was like, that's why I say I was semi-pro. At my best, I could maybe take a game off of anybody in the world.
Destiny, thanks very much for joining us, and congratulations on IPL Season 2 qualification.
Yeah, thanks for having me. And with more time spent playing the game, I gradually got better and better, and I think I'm getting close to where I can compete at a really high level.
But like, I don't think I would have won a series against most people.
No.
It wouldn't surprise me like lifetime winnings in StarCraft 2 were. My guess would be probably less than $5,000. It wasn't much, but I'd always focused on the streaming end of things more than just the practice end of things. So like my main money was always through streaming. So even though my tournament winnings weren't good, I like prioritized my streaming over like my pro gaming practice.
On stream, were you mostly talking about video games, or was it like personality, lifestyle, current events stuff?
It was always a combination of stuff. Like it was video games, but all the other stuff was always mixed in. That's I think what got people endeared to me rather than just like a StarCraft player. It was like more me the person.
Back then, were you doing like variety content, or was it like were you like reacting to things and like reading things, or was it mostly just like you gaming?
I think it was just gaming, non-stop gaming. Yeah.
When did that change?
Man, I don't know. Maybe around 2016, I think.
Before 2016, you were gaming pretty much.
I think mainly. I'm sure people were like watching YouTube videos and stuff a little bit prior to that, but
Why was that election important to you? Why did that change everything?
I just thought the conversation was so bad, and I was like, oh, like maybe I can contribute a little bit. Maybe
Why
we
was
can.
it bad?
Just people like not talking factually about literally anything. It was wild. Like people just saying like the most crazy, random, wild statements about economics or finance without knowing anything about like taxes or economies, or people saying weird like things that just seemed like really dumb. I was like,
were conservatives doing that?
I think everybody was, but especially everything like surrounding Trump was like really dumb.
Did your viewership fall off because people came there for video games?
I'd already emerged more as like a personality than just like a video game person, because I lost a lot of people that followed me just for StarCraft when I played League, and then from League I was like kind of starting to talk about and do other things. So. Yeah.
Did your viewership decrease, like, with each one of these, you take, like, a little hit?
From StarCraft to League, I took a big hit, but then from League onwards, I just kind of, like...
Do you remember, like, how many you were getting live on StarCraft versus League?
I want to say from StarCraft, maybe 5 to 8K, maybe? And then I think League was anywhere from, like, 1.5 to 3K.
Ooh, a third. Was the money, like, less, too?
Yeah.
You were somehow still confident that you were making the right choice, even despite that.
Yeah, because StarCraft was definitely going to die, and I don't want to be, like, hitched to that too much.
You didn't have a ton of self-doubt about that?
No, I was pretty confident I thought my analysis was good. Yeah, it was.
It was, but at the time you didn't know.
It was like there was you can probably go back and find it. Like I'm pretty sure there's a big post I made on the StarCraft subreddit.
This is like a lesson that you learn in history. Like it's common sense. Like look at the Betamax versus VHS. Like Betamax was a superior format in every single way, but VHS, was the one that was more aggressive with their marketing. And what did we end up with?
But it was like all the reasons why I looked at how League Riot was like supporting their game like so much, and Blizzard didn't seem to support theirs that much. And there was a big elitist attitude throughout all the Blizzard development staff and like all of the esports guys and all of the players and personalities about this is the best game because it's the most competitive and that's what people like. And these shitter like Dota and League aren't going to take off because like they're too casual and blah blah blah. And I think in my opinion, I thought that like the bigger the player base, the more people will watch your esports. Like, and these people support the out of their games in their communities, like, and they're on an upward trend. Like, why would we not expect that to like overtake StarCraft and then StarCraft will like dive up?
And then 2016, you switched to politics, and people are more or less comfortable with your constantly varying, stuff by then. You've been full-time streaming for.
I started full-time streaming at the end of 2010.
Holy shit. You were like the first fucking guy. I didn't realize it really went back that far.
I think I was the first person to quit and do it like as a job full-time. Like there were definitely people that streamed before me, but like did it as a job full-time. I think I'm the first one.
Who was big back then? Who was like really killing it?
And those times it would have been like people like Day9 was a guy.
Never even heard of him.
I think Asmon and Soda Poppin streamed on Livefire? Xfire?
Never even heard of this.
Some website like that.
2010, oh my god. So you switched to politics. Why does that work out so well for you? Because you hadn't done political debate discussion really before. You weren't like a pundit.
Not online, but like my whole life I kind of had been. Like I grew up like super debatey in high school because everybody there was like really left-leaning, and I was like super Republican because of my parents. Like I'd written like articles defending like George W. Bush and the Iraq War, and I like listened to Michael Savage and Glenn Beck.
What was the guy you liked? Was it Ron Paul?
In 2008 for college, yeah.
All right, so March 13th, 2017, you're on Twitter, you're talking shit, JonTron's talking shit, he's talking about politics, and you end up getting in a call with him on your stream.
Yeah.
How did that go?
I mean, I guess pretty well for me, kind of catastrophically for him, but I didn't ever intend for there to be like a big debate. I didn't think he was like that far gone. I'd only heard him have a conversation with Sargon of Akkad like twice, and I thought he was just kind of like getting into these topics. I didn't know he had so many strong opinions about them. So.
When you say far gone, you mean like right wing?
Yeah, or whatever 4chan was at the time. Like they weren't like the traditional conservatives of like, oh, we want to like have small government and like reduce taxes and all that. It was like completely on social issues, like immigration, like demographics, and.
But despite, I mean, you obviously feel like you probably were in the right in that conversation. He was in the wrong, broadly speaking. Like,
yeah, I guess, yeah. Obviously.
But the public perception was not that.
Really?
I don't think so.
Oh, you were in different communities.
Probably. In my public perception of that was like, at the time especially, was like, this guy's coming after JonTron.
It was definitely a 50-50 split. There were like a ton of people that saw me as like this kind of like leftist savior type guy that exposed JonTron for being like a secret racist, but everybody in those communities viewed me as like this Jewish mind controller that turned JonTron racist for the conversation and like manipulated him to say.
I think beyond that, a lot of it was just like people who are fans of JonTron or friends of him.
Yeah, that would probably that too,
would
yeah.
just, I mean, defend it.
Yeah.
You never talk about politics ever again.
Yeah.
Probably for the best.
Maybe, yeah.
Shout out, John. But you've developed this audience that's primarily left-wing. You've developed this subset that's like socialist, like very far left.
Yeah, I would say I cut my teeth like debating conservatives. Like I was kind of like the only lefty guy who would be like a hardcore debater because I was like a conservative trope. And because I was the only person that did that for a long time, that was my reputation. I got a lot of left-leaning followers, and a lot of those people were like very far left, which I always thought was kind of a joke. I didn't think that was actually true. But around 2019-ish, when these other people started streaming and becoming members of my community, Hassan and Bosch, I started to realize that people in my community were like way further left than I had realized.
And I thought it was all memes and jokes and stuff, but now I'm not sure. Like Hassan goes like on these full-on rants on his stream about how like, oh, the U.S. is worse than the USSR and shit, and I'm like, whoa, hold on, homie. Like I don't know if I would like unironically say this, but then like you said, like all of a sudden I start to realize like, wait, I think it feels like there are more tankies here than I actually thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Did you have any like audience watershed moments prior to that and after like StarCraft/politics stuff, like between 2017 and like 19? Did you have any moments in there that were like you had to like get rid of a little portion of the audience?
I think from 2014 to 2016, there were a lot of arguments that I use when it comes to engagement with content that I genuinely believe that I didn't realize were bullshit positions for a lot of other people. Here's like a thing I would say. I don't understand why representation is important because I can watch any movie or be in any crowd of people and I don't care if they look like me or act like me. Like I could watch a movie with like a trans lead or a female lead or a black lead, or be like in a room full of like Asian people I had for a long time for StarCraft. A lot of them don't speak my language. Like none of it bothered me. I thought it was cool. I was like totally fine with that. So I don't know why they make such a big deal about representation in their media. That was an argument that I used for a long time. And a lot of people in my audience and on the internet would like vibe with that. Like they'd hear me say things like Destiny epically owns these like feminist losers that ask for like representation, blah, 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 blah. But then I noticed that like there were a few games that were starting to come out. One of them I think was like a FIFA game or something where the main characters were like black or Hispanic or something. Or I don't know. I don't even know if FIFA has a campaign mode. It was something like that. And the amount of comments from white people were like overwhelmingly negative about how they were upset that like, oh, like I don't know if I can relate to this character or blah, blah, blah. And these moments happened a few times. And then I started to realize, like, wait a second, I thought we didn't care about shit like this. Why do you guys care? And then I'd realize, like, I'm like a useful idiot for these people on, like, the right socially because I was making all these arguments about how I didn't care about this thing. And I don't think I genuinely do, but I think everybody else really does. But as long as the culture is currently favoring them, they'll use those arguments.
This is from 2014 to 2016. Were you having, like, I guess, I don't even know if Discord was, like, a thing back then? Discord was like 2016.
Discord, like the chat program?
Yes.
No, I don't think that existed.
So you were like calling people on Skype or whatever else, TeamSpeak, I guess.
Skype, TeamSpeak, and Mumble were the things we used, yeah.
Were you debating random people from chat at that point in time too?
I must have, yeah, because Irish Laddie, Vosh. All right, I'm gonna talk to this guy now.
Hey, Steven.
What's up?
By the way, honest question. Do you prefer to be called Steven or Destiny?
Probably Steven. Destiny seems really weird.
SRS is mean. We insult people. You know, we judge them callously, in fact. We believe in what we say, mind you, but we aren't expected to be, we don't expect to be treated.
Or anything like that, yeah.
As for the actual things that SRS says, I agree with the vast majority of them.
Yeah, it was all the way back in 2011 hopping on and stuff, so yeah. It must have been. Skype, I think, yeah.
Speaking of Vosh and just people who call your stream, you mentioned Hassan. Your community has been very active ever since, I mean, like the beginning of your streaming stuff. And around the time that you got to like you said, 2016, you have Vosh, Irish Laddie, I think at the time he's doing stuff. You have Hassan, he's doing stuff. And you start to see like little offshoots from your community blow up and do their own little thing. They carve out their own little piece of that pie. How did you feel at the time about watching like people who essentially like were fans of yours and were birthed from your whole shit go on to become their own kind of
I mean, for a while it was cool, because I'd always been like very much like, I wasn't part of a big community or a big clique or anything like that. I kind of like focused on my community and growing that and making them active and then pulling people from my community for chatting and everything. So seeing people from my community go on to become like bigger streamers, I thought was like kind of cool.
And then you had like collab partners.
Kind of, yeah, people that I could debate and people I could argue with and everything, yeah.
That wasn't a personal attack. Aren't you proud to be LGBT?
What are you talking about, dude? Are you serious?
Are you LGBT or not?
We've got a question.
But for Vosh and Hassan, the kind of the weird thing came when I realized that like, wait, these guys are like really, really, really far left. And I've got actually a bunch of my audience that's really, really, really far left. And I had to like put my foot down and make it clear, like, I'm a liberal, I'm a capitalist, I'm not a socialist, I'm not a communist.
To be clear as chat, Irish Laddie has basically said he would give me the bullet in his real world. So while he's here whining about me dialoguing treating him, we're coming into this with him basically saying he would kill me under his political system.
And I feel like I bled like a third to half of my audience within like a month or something, going to Vosh and Hassan and like kind of becoming their fans because I like was absolutely not on board with the super far left stuff. Yeah.
I've seen like one of the earliest combos you had with Irish Laddie, Vosh, when you were playing Minecraft. In that, from when he's talking about SRS, I thought it was abundantly clear how far left he was.
Yeah, he was, but I didn't know my fans were. That was the thing I didn't know, because I was never that far left.
So did you think he was just like a character you brought on stream that people...
No, it was like he was a fun person to debate and argue with and stuff. But when I was arguing with him and everything, and then like, the thing that would happen is I would have arguments with these people sometimes. I remember there was a post that went up on my server at one time. The overwhelming like idea from the post, like Destiny's basically a socialist, like an all but name, like he just doesn't realize it yet or whatever. Like that was the feeling that people had sometimes when I would fight with people, like Vosh or Hassan. And yeah, that was definitely not the case. And then once I started to make that more clear, the divisions became way more abundant.
Yeah, and I guess the other question is when you have these watershed moments, like when these guys leave your community, your viewers go elsewhere, is that not like scary as for you? Do you not worry like...
I don't know many YouTubers that do this though, but for a streamer, I think it's really important to have an up and down so that you can see you can survive it. And my big up and down was from StarCraft to League. That was scary for me because I thought it might be over. But if I could survive going from StarCraft to League, I could survive any, wave and fall or crest and peak or whatever at that point.
How many viewers did you lose to that?
I don't know, probably, if I had to guess, it was probably a couple thousand concurrent viewers would be my guess.
But Vosh and Hassan have never been like buddies, right?
No.
Why? They kind of seem like a perfect fit for each other.
Oh, that's a good question. I should ask my stream next time you're on.
They kind of seem like they should be friends. Although maybe Hassan doesn't like Vosh because Vosh is edgy. How do you feel about Vosh as a person? How do you feel about him?
He's a bad person.
Why?
I think because he knowingly engages in lies and deceptive behavior. That shit drives me insane. And he's smart enough not to. He's a little bit more tactical in it, and that makes me think they're a worse person, yeah.
But just
as long as it leads people in a good direction, I think it's generally pretty defensible.
I think there needs to be some adherence or conformity to truth. I don't think you can just lie and move people in the right direction, and that makes it okay.
What about if we were to get rid of all content which has any misleading elements for the advocacy of liberal or left-leaning politics? I think that would destroy almost everything. I actually didn't watch his debate with Lance the other day. Did you know? This is, by the way, I'm totally poisoning the well here. Sometimes, if intellectual honesty is the cost of a successful improvement of the state of humanity, then sometimes that just has to be made.
On an ideological level, you're no different than a lot of the crazy groups that you yourself disagree with.
Do you think he's as smart as you? Do you think you can see eye to eye on issues and like you can have like complex conversations about these issues and he could
mean, it's hard to rank intelligence, but he's a very smart person. Like, if we both spent the same amount of time studying an issue, like, it would always be a challenging conversation for me. Like, he would never be a pushover on anything. Absolutely not.
You say that, but when I've seen you guys have conversations, like on the Rittenhouse thing, it seems like he had a very hard time.
Yeah, but I don't think that was because of his intelligence. I think it's because of his partisanship. I think he was getting partisanly sucked into a certain narrative.
Is he aware of that?
I think he is.
Is that his choice?
I think so. I think he's smart enough to know it. That's why I hate him more than I hate Hassan. I think Hassan is not as smart as Bosch.
Is Bosch like grifting then? Is that just sort of a grifty thing? No.
I think it's a little grifty, yeah. I think he's smarter than that. But he's not like fully grifting. I think he like decently believes in most of what he says, but I think he also is like really intentional in what he covers and how he covers it. Yeah.
How do you feel about Hassan?
That's a big question.
You guys were buddies.
Kind of, yeah.
You guys got along.
Acquaintance slash friends, yeah.
I'm not a vegan, but a pescatarian technically.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
No, I don't know. Why would I know your dietary habits?
What the? I get like a salad or something.
Oh,
I'm just f***ing with you, dude. I eat normal shit. I'm sorry.
Power these muscles. Can I touch you? Yeah. Power these muscles. Andy, you don't fucking understand. He's gonna power
This is memes for fucking years.
I mean, you hung out a few times in person or whatever.
Yeah, played with his dog.
You played with his dog. Yeah. His dog died. And then you put him on
think that
the
was an
fucking
accident.
thing.
I'm just kidding. Cut that.
Yeah. That's gonna be the opening. But cut that. Nothing's gonna cut. So you guys were friends. I mean, the same applies with Bosch. And then you have a few big conversations. I think one of them was around the Trihex N-word thing.
Me and
I think
Hassan had already had big schisms before that, I think. Or
well,
a
that was a
fight.
big one. And the one before that, there was the booty judge thing.
It was a Kamala Harris video. That was a huge thing. And then afterwards, the Trihex N-word thing, he basically tried to ambush me on that, and that was a really bad, set of conversations.
Right. Would he use the N-word or the hard R around you while he's talking about someone? No, because he understands that it's bad. Because it ultimately, no matter what, no matter how you use the term, ultimately it just implies that the person themselves are like a racist person.
And then, I mean, after that, it was kind of just over.
Pretty fucked at that point, yeah.
Yeah.
Like
do you miss
debating
like
them and
talking to them when they were more, I don't know, less partisan or whatever?
I think at that point in my life, I didn't really talk to anybody like on a personal level. So.
Really?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Not really, no.
What were you doing?
Streaming.
Doesn't that cue up to not talk to anyone on a personal level?
Not really.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Do you know that's weird?
A little bit, yeah.
Do you know that is really weird?
I understand that. Yeah.
So I talk to anyone on a personal level?
Not
Is there
that
something
much.
wrong with you?
I mean, it's just hard for people to relate to me. Like, what am I gonna talk about? Like, here's my streamer problems. It's just hard to, yeah. And then I don't value other people's feedback as much because I'm usually a little bit older than the other people, and a lot of my problems are like kind of unique. Like, am I gonna talk to Bosch or Hassan about like I had to move to another place because of like my kid's mom and me not getting along, or like it's just like all my problems are so
Okay,
unique.
when you
and
say you
weird.
didn't have any personal conversations, do you mean with streamers or just in general?
I mean, like I would usually be dating somebody, I would talk to them. Yeah.
Okay, so you did have personal conversations.
Yeah.
Well, your problems.
Yeah.
You're not a total psycho. Why didn't
Yeah,
you just,
I don't think I'm
why
a
didn't you
total
just say
psycho.
that?
Oh, well, I mean, I didn't have like friends that I would like talk to things about. So like, if I never dated Bosch or Hassan.
Oh.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
Okay.
well, there you go,
I
yeah.
thought you had. Okay,
No.
that's good. The next few moments like that with drama, obviously the ones I remember are like Redacted. Shout out to Redacted. Lav, Mr. Girl. But a big one, a big one that I think is not talked about as much as I think it should be, is Bob 7. What the fuck happened with Bob 7?
Basically, Bob 7 was a guy who was getting really close to my partner at the time. And
To be clear, he was a streamer. And
yeah.
he would go on the
Mainly
Raw
worked
show.
on like shows and stuff behind the scenes and was on other people's streams.
He went on the Raw show. He did like this sort of desperate incel character guy.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
And he was pretty funny.
Yeah, he was super funny.
But he becomes friends with your, I guess now ex-wife, Melina.
Yeah.
And that caused issues.
Basically, what I found out